I really don't have much to say here. I do have anxiety about it. I knew it was coming. And I just want to remind people I was made out the biggest fucking monster in the world. To my kids, to her family, to her friends, to my friends, and many others. I knew this was coming. And yes, it hurts. It does bother me. I don't want to see anything bad happening to that person. But I'm not willing to take the risk of repeating that cycle. To say I never wanted to be her husband, how many years do you wait for somebody to stop obsessing over everyone else? See, the moment I stopped wanting to marry her was the moment we moved from Canby and she decided to move to her friend Tia's house. And while there, one day we were fine. Next day, I was being chained out. She wouldn't even respond to me, nothing. That was because that was the following day after those two fucked around or did whatever they did. Since then, we have not functioned. Since then, all she's ever done is even hold that friendship over my head because that person couldn't respect the relationship. All she's done is blame me for everything that's gone wrong. I'm not the one who makes multiple profiles to hold a double life and say that there's no one else. I'm not stupid. She got caught. And she deleted the one. And the reason why I know is because I messaged both of them to tell her and Phil both to eat shit. And then magically, the one that isn't her primary vanishes. She deleted it. She got caught. I sent her the screenshots that she got caught. And she wants to tell me there is nobody else. She wants me to believe that all of this is my fault for not wanting to marry her. Again, how many years do you tell somebody to stop obsessing over other people, prioritize the relationship, and they have more time and energy to go be with other people than they do with you? The last 5 years, all she did was talk shit and then blame me for why everything went wrong. She needs to look in the mirror. I wasn't the one who talked shit about my other half right in front of them to my mother and talked so much shit that my family stepped in to help us get a home. My father co-signed and I've paid for it ever since, in more ways than just financial. She kept leaving me every single chance she got. The first time she left me was yeah, she'd pull this shit of let's get married, and then she would start something and then suddenly blame me for why it went the way it did when she's been neglecting the relationship to obsess over her friends. I've never denied anybody the right to have friendships, but when nothing you say is important, they have to go to mommy or their friends for other opinions. They always dismiss you. They always stonewall you when there's a problem. I've got shit tons of text messages that aren't even on this, aren't even on my YouTube channel. I have emails. I have a lot of shit going back really far. And in fact, in one of these videos, I even showed where I even tried to address this shit and all these issues. And what was her response? Oh no, that doesn't matter anymore. It's because she was already seeing someone else. And as I showed earlier in this channel on another video that I right now is locked again, was me recording the phone call admitting that there was someone else, that she was interested in someone else. So if you wanted to marry someone, why would you spend your time looking somewhere else when you're not worrying about what's going on at home? When you're watering someone else's grass and not your own, there's a reason why it dies. And when you leave it to one person to carry on the relationship, would you want to marry someone who left all the responsibility onto you? You'd have to be stupid to let somebody like that, who goes around and tells everybody what kind of piece of shit you are, isolates you, demonizes you, and then blames you for why their life is miserable, when all they had to do was stop what they were doing, knock off their toxic bullshit, prioritize the relationship, quit putting the person that they go home to on the back burner so they can go obsess over Phil or some other man or woman. Whether it's Bray, Jason, like I said, I can go down a list. Starting from Cliff, the very first one. I can sit here and say I told you so and all that, but I'm I'm just done with the bullshit. I don't hate them. I forgive them, but I will never trust them again. And like I said, I knew this was coming. And yes, this is today. So you can see that is today. And of course, I get blamed for why she didn't get married. I get blamed for why she got divorced so that we would get married. She showed up at a hospital. The pictures that I've shown where I was unconscious and my friend Nacho was hugging me, that I have no memories of. A time in my life nobody will tell me the truth about. She's constantly portrayed my wife, but if you want to marry me, why do you always obsess over someone else? Why is Mom's opinion always more important? Why is Bray's opinion more important? Why is whoever you want to talk to next that you want to obsess over, their opinions are more important? You blame me for this crap. You tell me this is my fault. That's what you're making it out to be. This is what we call love bombing when it comes to narcissistic abuse. Not just hoovering. And here's the thing. I'm not responding in email. Some might take this as a response too. But I'm done with this crap. They've done nothing to prove anything different to me other than blame me for why they're fucking miserable. Talk shit about me to everyone around us. Makes me out a monster and then wants to send me emails like this and tell me how much they love me. Remember, as I said, she admitted twice that she was seeing somebody else and that she was interested in someone else. I've already shown everybody that she's made multiple accounts, and I used the Instagram as an example because with Facebook, she was able to get me blocked on one of them. But I have her primary account blocked on others. I think she's got like the Bugsy Boo 24, and then she's got the Bugsy Boo 2005, I think it was, that was on Facebook. I don't trust her. I've had a hunch all this is going on, and frankly, she's still got a third party involved, and I'm not going to take that risk anymore. I can't do this. I gave her 12 years. In half of it, she was obsessing over other fucking people. To the point she kept trying to throw my ass in jail, claiming I was Jacob Hartman, and accusing me of shit I didn't do. And she wants to blame me for why I wouldn't marry her. She kept throwing me to the curb. As soon as we got that house, she kept throwing me away. Well, like I said, between getting the house and the following April, we got in there in August, she threw me away 4 or 5 times just in that short amount of time period. And she wants to wonder why I went and married her. And she kept telling me, oh, Oregon City's my home now. And then down there, she loves it when I start to hate it. Because of the way I got treated by her and our kids. This is her mouth that put her in the place that she's at. All the shit talking that she did about me, all the shit talking she did to other people about myself, putting people against each other, making people dislike each other, all that shit. She put me through some of the worst fucking abuse ever. And if any inkling of this email is true, this is called karma. This is why I believe in karma. I don't have to do shit. All I have to do is move on. Because, move on and go through the healing process. I'm tired of people thinking it's okay to treat somebody like shit, put them in third parties, putting all your energy into somebody else when they're constantly telling you to quit putting the relationship on the back burner, quit neglecting the relationship, prioritize the relationship, all that. And yet their responses is, I hate you. I wish I left you in that hospital. Yada, yada, yada. Every rebuttal and argument to put me down because she kept obsessing over people who gave no shit about our relationship. She didn't give a shit herself. If she cared, she would have quit putting everyone else first. You're not marrying your friends unless you're fucking them, basically. And clearly you weren't. Yeah. I'm not doing this anymore. I knew this was coming. And people need to realize this is what I've gone through for the last 5 years since getting that house. She'd throw me away a month or so later. Every 1 to 3 months, she would pop back up doing this shit to get me to feel bad. I do feel bad, but I'm not going to act on this. I'm not going to, yeah. This is how she's gotten me to break down and let her come back. Every single time. There's only, every time I tried to cope with her loss, she would take it as me being, oh, well, I saw your video. Yeah, I've been trying to cope with you walking out and throwing me away like trash and obsessing over your friends Bray and Jason and all these other people. I mean, like I said, I can go down a list. And there's people I obviously don't know who the fuck they are. That's why I will not trust her. So again, if this throws off the audio, I'm sorry. But I'm done with this mess. You guys are getting a prime example of what narcissistic abuse is and what they do. When they start hitting bottom, they want to go after their primary target to try and make them feel better while blaming them for why they're where they're at. How many years do you wait for somebody to stop obsessing over other people? Stop trying to take in other kids to replace your own. Like she did from Boys and Girls Aid. I wouldn't even know some of those kids if she didn't even try bringing some of them home. And even tried talking me into adopting one. Down to conversing with one. And she, Amy, I think her name is. Them, trying to talk me into adopting her. Otherwise, Melissa would leave me. That's the type of shit I would deal with. At a time we were not in a position of doing so. And I was not about to try and foster or adopt a young lady who already has a lot of other issues when myself has enough. And I have more patience with certain things, but when you're in a place for criminal history type stuff, and she wasn't a bad kid, she was a good kid. She was raised in a bad family, and yeah, just like myself at that age, I wouldn't have expected anybody to take me in that sense. The fact of who I am, and that's a teenage female at the time, I wasn't going to risk somebody getting mad, especially when they're trying to talk my other half into leaving me if I don't adopt or foster them. I don't need them getting mad, throwing me in jail, screaming rape when that shit didn't happen. This way the system works is they'll take the woman's word every fucking time. I was not willing to take that risk. Anyways, I hope people are learning from this. And if you're having a shitty day, I've got another vid that just uploaded. It's a short that'll make you laugh your ass off and kind of change your mood. So long as some people blame you for why their life went to shit because of how they treated you and how they got everybody turned against you, don't give them any more rope to hang themselves. They've done enough. Let them learn it really badly. I'm not dealing with it. The karma is hitting them obviously pretty hard, and frankly, I still think they have a third party involved, whether they want to deny it or not. These are called habits that they have that they are not going to quite kick, because every time they did this to me, they had somebody else strung along. The fact that they've continued to talk to a specific person that I've confronted more than once, including her, to stop fucking talking and respect our relationship. And she continued for half a decade. Actually longer, since I got the tattoo on my fucking back. I'm sorry if the guy that she so got infatuated with and had to lie to me about over these years reminds her of when I told her, he reminded me of her two exes, and she's like, well, no wonder I can't resist him. So you mean you're attracted to a pedophile and a man who literally abused his wife? Remember, that's what she said about her ex-husband, Jake. But you're not attracted to the man who's been sitting at home wanting to spend time with you. Well, the only time they can spend time with you is when you sleep throughout the day, and you make excuses that your pills make you tired, but on the weekends, unless you're going to your friend's house, you sleep through the weekends, or unless I'm gone, you magically have all this energy to suddenly clean the house. It's because you're probably inviting someone over. You would do nothing but blame me and talk shit to me and talk shit about me. I've already showed you all on here that if you've been keeping up with this and watched any of the previous videos before I locked them and put them in private, I told you this was going to happen. I hope this reaches the right people. And I hope y'all learn from it. Narcissistic abuse is very real, and men are not the only ones capable of doing it.